Listen close, we rise up from the ashes, digging for the truth, breaking old habits. We marching with the nesters, they laid the foundation, passed down revelation, sparked our motivation. In a world of facades, we peeling back the layers. Truth is the weapon that cuts through all the fakers. Phonets in our chest, reborn from deception. Eyes wide open, no room for misdirection. Every step we take, we honor the connection between past and present, forging our resurrection. Phoenix rises in truth, setting us free from the lies that they feed. We reclaim our beliefs, thinking differently, we'll break every chain. We dance for freedom, case by case, again. We cultivate vision, planting seeds of awareness, challenge the narrative, break out of the harness, digging deep for knowledge, unearthing the hidden. Our minds are the soil where the future is written, no longer confined by the scripts they prescribe. We write our own story, let the real one subscribe. One voice becomes many, together we rally. Freedom's not a concept, it's a move and a tally. Case, we break the cage. Dark by dark, we shift the stage. Phoenix rises in truth, setting us free from the lies that they feed. We reclaim our beliefs, thinking differently, we'll break every chain. We dance for freedom, case by case, again. Rise up, speak out, watch the new world breathe.
Essentially convicted in the media. He has a right to have this information withheld, brought out in public, so that people can see it's not this neat little package. So people can start to wonder if Brian's innocent. Your Honor, Brian is innocent. So if I talk about things that are in the affidavit, and if I talk about things that we're seeking that the state wants to hide, I think that's fair game for the public to hear.
All right, fair game for the public to hear because the state wanted to hide what? Now, I don't know, nothing. I don't know nothing today. I'm just going to be honest. We know nothing now today than we did back then. I mean, let's be honest. Let's just be truly honest here. I like truth no matter what. I will tell the truth, even if it gets me in trouble. And that's how honest I am to the core. That's about integrity. I'll give myself up if I've done something wrong. Who else is like that out there? Even as a kid, I thought I was getting away with something. I wasn't. My mom knew. My aunts knew. My uncles knew. I was not the one to kind of lie and hide. So get this. I'm going to ask you a question on this beautiful Thursday afternoon where we honor the IDAHO4, the beautiful young souls that lost their lives in Idaho. And I say lost their light. As we know it, Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan lost their light. there's a lot to say for something in a name, guys. A name defines who you are. And I firmly believe that all four of these beautiful individuals did lose their light. And it's hard for some to imagine or understand exactly what I'm talking about. When you think of losing somebody that was, close to you, you can't imagine that. We've just lost Tommy Jude in the crime community. And that in itself is even hard to wrap around and accept. Because there's a lot of times when I was doing nothing, I would just tune in to see who was live, and he would be live. And, I went up on his panel a few times. It's terrible that, things aren't going to be the same. They just aren't. And when you start looking at this case from a perspective, what if these were my kids? It brings a whole new meaning. So welcome in, you amazing little nesters. Get in here, get under the wing, and let's discuss this topic around the cryptic truth buried deep. Wow, that was a mouthful. And I just have to be honest with you right now. I've been wound up tight for a couple of weeks, y'all. And my doctor said you need to take a new med. And I didn't think anything of it, but I took it. I took it today. And I'll tell you, I feel mellow. And that's what I got to say. So I'm looking at the IDAHO4 from a new perspective. Totally new perspective. If you know average cases where people are innocent, usually takes 10, 11, 20, 30 years. I hope and pray that this case is solved quickly. Very quickly. And yes, I just put a chip in my mouth because I feel like a chip soda type of day. Which hasn't happened in a very long time. So you got the laid kickback Phoenix right now. Do me a favor. You don't have to type it out. I want you to do a reflection moment. What's the hardest truth you've ever had to accept? Now, don't answer. Think it to yourself. What's the hardest truth you ever had to accept? Don't have to tell us. And then ask yourself, what's one truth you learned this year that completely changed how you see the world? What's one truth? That one truth for me was looking into the IDAHO4 and seeing Charlie Kirk right after digging deep into this case, seeing similarities. That would have to be the one for me. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. Amanda, you're always such a good reminder. I'm just ready to bring you all I got. And sometimes I forget. Justiceforall.com. Everything at your fingertips. You can share it with people. Because I guarantee you, if you ask one person, did you believe Brian Kohberger was guilty? They'll probably say, who? The kid who, the criminology student that killed 4 while they were sleeping. Oh, in my Idaho. Yeah, okay. I can only hear the conversations. Yeah, so guilty. Well, let me show you a website that has all the information you may think differently one day. And it's sounding more and more like who said it? Yep, Kylie Rodney's case. Yep, it is. So welcome in, get in here, and let's talk about the cryptic truth buried deep. Let's talk about it, because not a lot of people are talking about it. What does cryptic mean? Hidden, mysterious, hard to understand. That's what cryptic means. 100%. Not fully explained, secretive or unclear, containing clues but no straight answers, confusing, deliberately vague with purpose, requiring interpretation or digging deeper. So when you call a case cryptic, you mean basically it has missing pieces, contradicting information, hidden facts, and the truth is not obvious. And we see that in the repository. We see that in all the documents that are highly secretive, folks. And the infamous gag order. I mean, let me ask you in the chat, drop what you think looks like cryptic behavior. I agree. This is like spot on. Definitely cryptic. So drop an example of cryptic behavior if you know what I'm talking about. Okay? Because withholding basic facts is one of them. The timeline details don't match, the cause of death, location of injuries, and the basic evidence description is all cryptic. Everything. When they refuse to release this information to the public. Another type of behavior is the change of the story over time. One says it was actually targeted, not targeted, actually targeted, all cryptic. Like this.
Was one of the 4 students murdered in a house in Moscow, Idaho back in November. The gag order prevents all parties related to this court case from sharing any information or discussing the murder investigation publicly. According to this lawsuit, the Gonzalez family argues that they are not part of the case, therefore should not be part of the gag order. They also say that the gag order is too broad, making them fear that they could be in contempt of court if they speak about this case. Brian Kohberger is accused of murdering those 4 students. He's currently being held without bail and will be back in court again on June 26.
Okay, so you have, obviously, you heard that the Gonzalez family was not part of this case, okay, because they did file something, they did hire an attorney, they did go to court, the attorney represented them, and after that gag order, they were allowed to talk. So something happened in court that was secret and hidden that we didn't get to hear. Now, there is a new order that just came out. I'm going to share with you real quick. Just released. Hot off the presses 5 minutes ago. And I'm going to go over this with you. Because this is the order that Judge Hippler has put into place in regarding restitution. Here it is. Especially on the topic we're talking about. Let me get this a little larger. Hold on. Bingo. There we go. Now, what does this mean? What does this say? Well, a couple of weeks ago, no, as a matter of fact, it was last week. Sorry. So last week, there was a hearing in restitution because the families were asking for more money. Well, by the time they got into court, it was something like $26,000. But this basically says the order of state's restitution, the state's request for restitution. Bottom line, I'm going to give you the clip notes, and I'm going to give you the spoil alert ahead of time. Judge Hippler basically ruled, bottom line, that Brian Kohberger must pay Steve and Christy $1,420, and that he must pay Karen's mother $1,587. These costs were urns used for the girls that were cremated. There are two reasons. The plea deal specifically agreed that the state could ask for restitution money paid to the victims, and that Kohberger can't argue against paying for the urns. The agreement is clear and not confusing. In simple words, you agreed to this when you took the deal. This is part of the deal. Bam. He gives Idaho code, receipts, analysis, factors set for restitution, exhibits that they sealed, and he awarded them exactly what I just explained to you right here. That was it. That was it. So the judge looked at the Idaho's restitution law and said the parents did pay for funeral costs. Kohberger said he cannot pay because he's in prison and he can't work the rest of his life. The judge says it doesn't matter. The inability to pay right now is not a valid reason to deny restitution in Idaho. The judge noted that Kohberger has received over $28,000 in donation while in jail. $28,000. And he said he may receive future donations. That's what he basically said. That's what they said. Said he can't work in prison. Restitution doesn't require any payment schedule. They just give the victims the legal right to collect money when it comes in. So even if he's broke now, he might not be forever. Now, compared to $251,000 he owes, $20,000 in civil judgment for the families, $31,000 in other restitution that he already agreed to, this judge is basically saying, this is a tiny piece of what you already owe. You already received donations to show a payment is possible. So out of the kindness of our heart, we've paid. Those people who have donated to him have paid for Haley's, your urns, and Maddie's urns. And in the repository, you'll see the order of restitution and judgment for Laramie, which are individual orders. Right here, order of restitution. You got to pay $1,587.79 and interest of a judgment rate of 9% per annual until this is paid. And that was the judgment. And for restitution for Kaylee's family, you have to pay $1,420, 9% annual, pay in full. That was the order. So he made his decision, and he basically said, you got to pay him. Now, the judge mentioned in these orders that the state originally asked for travel-related costs, but withdrew that part. We heard that. We heard that in the testimony. And then the state filed their request on time. Media money, book interviews normally goes into an escrow account. The victims can access it. Made 2 separate orders. And that's the end of the deal. That was the outcome of the court. Now, keep in mind, there is a stream of information coming our way with the order regarding the third request for information. They're going to release hundreds of documents, if not, by the time that we look at this, it should have been today. They unsealed this. Hold on one second. I just noticed this. Hold on. Yeah, they did. Hold on. State's response for third order regarding sealed documents. They've made this public. Holy moly, I didn't even notice that till I clicked on it. Okay, so the state's objection to the third order regarding sealed documents. To the defendant's proposed jury questionnaires, they have no objection. To the questionnaire proposals, they have no objection. The state doesn't have any objection to the unsealing of the index and no objections to the exhibit D7D. They will redact it, obviously, for highly intimate facts or statements and anything regarding psychiatric care or treatment and counseling and diagnosis or treatment. They have no objection to unsealing exhibit D13D. And E has something that needs to be redacted. No objection to exhibit D19A. No objection to unsealing D20A or 20B. Would require redactions in these following. Boy, they've got a lot of asks. The mass majority of the named and unrelated third-party witnesses voluntarily provided their DNA swabs latent print so they could be excluded as suspects in the case. The unsealing of this record would contravene privacy concerns for these individuals as being identified as possible suspects. Well, everyone is a suspect. When you have 4 unalived college-age kids in a campus, off-campus situation, there's going to be some concerns. The state has no objection to seat minus private information. Nord, Miller, Martinez, Ayers, Hill, Gilbertson, Youngling, Wilt, Malachek, White, Ayers, Mowry, Douglas. Those were most of the lab report experts that did that. And unredacted, no objections to most of the 911, limited motion and limites, advanced timing records, minus identifiable information, to privacy. I'm just reading through these. Expert testimony. IgG evidence, no objection. No objection, no objection. Transcript of the hearing redacted. Relatives. I mean, we're getting the same look, vibe, and feel. The state wants to hide all the personal information. Looks like we're going to get hundreds of pages, if not more, redacted soon. That was the deadline that they made. And probably within 2 weeks, the state answered, and we should see these rolling in pretty soon. So that's pretty interesting. We'll see a lot of these become red and new when they start unsealing these. So, I mean, that's a good thing, especially when we're talking about cryptic and the hidden truths of why this became so cryptic. So let's just hope that they actually unseal a lot of this. It would be nice to have some more information. Is somebody acting like a fool? Is that Lucas guy lurking around? If you can't be nice, get out of the chat. This might not be the stream for you. And it's okay. If you got to time him out, let me know. Send me a message. I'll kick him. I'll kick him to the curb, y'all. I'm not up for a debate today. I'll get him out of here. 3 strikes, you're out. So let me take a look at this. Messing up my vibe. So let's take a look at this real quick. Now that we have this off the table, we have an answer. They're going to have to squeeze him for that money, whatever they decided. So when we look at the cryptic information in this, all the redactions, all the secrets, it leaves patterns. All the redacting for what? What are they hiding? The cryptic truth? Well, we took deep dives almost every day for the last God knows how long. And I'm a nice person, but not a fool. Well, that's good that you're a nice person, Lucas. I appreciate that. But, when you search for evidence and facts, black and white, that can be proven in a court of law, you have to ask yourself, are you going to share truth or spew misinformation? I know you're honest. That's your opinion, and we respect that. I mean, if the chat's being really rude to you, it is an honest discussion, but we just have to share truth. We're not going down the misleading rabbit hole. We've been misled too long by too many people. Factually innocent is a legal term. Yeah. See, that's that's problematic here, is because one, you come in here and you want to disrupt people. That's just like people who go around and spread lies about this horrible thing that happened. Yeah, let's have a healthy debate, but I'm not looking for a fight. Because you have to ask yourself, why is this name redacted? Why is this part of the missing timeline missing? Where are the entire pages removed? Why am I searching for something labeled tested with no result? Cryptic cases leave patterns in its redactions. And if they avoid a topic consistently, that topic is where the truth lives. Who avoids answering questions? What questions got no comment? What topics vanish from press releases? What evidence will they not discuss? That's how the early contradiction started. There's always a pattern, there's always a signal. Internal disagreements, withheld info, public pressure, all that equals narrative control. And all the guilters out there, it's sad. I have to add this in. It's terribly sad because why? In the United States, we are all innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. It's not the other way around. It's not the other way around, folks. This isn't the Salem trials. They have to have facts and evidence before they can say you're guilty. They knew he was innocent before they arrested him. And that is what makes me believe he is either an informant or a protected individual in this case. Gone rogue, maybe. I don't know. But the DNA clearly says it was a Caucasian, a Hispanic, and a African-American man that they found in CODIS. Previously known individuals. Thugs, thieves, murderers, something. Redacted for a reason. I mean, we could track what they refuse to answer. We could study the redactions. The redactions themselves tell a story. We could look for missing chain of custody. In cryptic cases like IDAHO4, Delphi, Walsh, items show no clear custody path. Sequence numbers are missing. I told you guys that from the beginning. Thousands of pages missing in those reports. Evidence logs skip pages. Some items even appear with no explanation. Some items not tested, like the knives. Key items show up late. No chain of custody clarity. The public is the one that should be questioning this because they got busted. Even the redacteds are redacted. And the videos, yes, they are. They had to piece and cut. And Marissa, welcome to the party. It's never late. The dumpster fire, stuff leaked wrong. They did it to confuse. This is really interesting too. I'm going to show you a clip.
Murders of 4 University of Idaho students. There is still no motive, no arrests, no closure for the grieving families of the victims. The community gathered just last night to remember their lives, and the town's police chief is speaking out in his first sit-down interview. ABC's Rena Roy has more.
Across the state of Idaho, candlelight vigils to remember the 4 University of Idaho students stabbed to death in their off-campus apartment.
When I would meet people, and the first thing I'd say is, I have this daughter, and she's hard, and she has all these great friends in the sorority.
The search for a killer now in its 3rd week. Police say they still have no suspect or murder weapon.
Make sure that you spend as much time as possible with those people, because time is precious and it's something you can't get back.
Authorities sifting through a mountain of tips and evidence. The police chief speaking to ABC in his first sit-down interview since the murders.
We're going to provide as many answers as we can.
Authorities maintain this was a targeted
investigation, trying to pull the pieces in that will help give us the before, the during, and the after. So we're trained very well. We're also aware when we need to bring in the Idaho State Police and the FBI or ATF.
With a multi-agency effort underway, police asking the community for patience as they work to find the person responsible.
When we do, it'll be one of those days that a lot of relief will come to our community.
So a lot of people will say, wow, that was like 3 weeks after this atrocity, and they still didn't have information. We know that now by the forensic data. They were checking every single person out. Every single person. Follow the unknown DNA. That's another cryptic thing. Anytime there is unknown male DNA, unknown female DNA, unassigned profiles, not suitable for comparison, or not BK or not victim, that is not transparent. That case is not transparent. This case is not transparent, because unknown DNA equals unknown people equals unknown events, like I shared this morning. No one really knows if Xana and Ethan got home. No one really knows if Maddie and Kaylee got home. It was all everyone else's witness statements. It wasn't transparent. Cryptic cases always have DNA mysteries. Always. Like I said in the Delphi. Just like Charlie Kirk's case, says Dina. And there's layers and layers of cover-up, missing video, caught in lies. Is the whole town involved? I don't know. Sure feels like the Twilight Zone episode. Portal to hell is what Birdie says. How can they feel settled with all the unknown data? And here is the missing link. And I've been saying it for a long time. The military connection. Why not bring in the Army? Why not test all the unknown male and female DNA via IgG? I mean, they did it for Brian Kohberger. Why not do it for these individuals? Oh, and then let's pay attention to all the sealed warrants and protective orders. See, secrecy can be normal in a case like this up to a point. But when a case has multiple sealed warrants, entire evidence list withheld, protective orders blocking basic info, restricted discovery, gag orders, I mean, what else was involved in this case? Oh, delaying public affidavits. That's when you're signaling and you're dealing with high control cryptic cases. Too many not treated as suspects. When I FOIA'd my mom's documents, there are missing pages. Absolutely. Those missing pages may exonerate her. I never heard of a case that takes over 100 officers to not solve a case, and still not solved. All of BT's guilty pleas should be investigated. There's no telling how many people were set up for something. And Hydrant has eyes, said Mrs. Fry is now, yep, county recorder who records all property transactions. Yep. Totally, except for Dylan. Exactly, Phoenix. That's right there, says Brian, is someone, either the ringer or the chosen patsy. I uploaded in the Discord. I'm still working on them. Yeah, missing pages in that report. Not every sealed item equals corruption, folks. But many sealed items equals something much deeper, buried much deeper. So let's talk about this portion of it.
Tonight, a new curveball in the case against accused murderer Brian Kohberger. In a redacted court filing, his defense team says investigators recovered DNA from 3 unidentified individuals under the fingernails of victim Madison Mogan, who was stabbed to death along with Kaylee Gonzalez, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin in an off-campus home at the University of Idaho. The defense arguing DNA test results were inconclusive and should be excluded at trial, saying it would mislead the jury. They also claim independent testing by the defense eliminated Kohberger.
They're saying it's not relevant. It's not going to disprove or prove any fact. It's only going to mislead the jury into maybe thinking Brian Kohberger's DNA was there.
Kohberger's lawyers, who say he is innocent, now arguing his autism spectrum disorder should take the death penalty off the table. Writing his facial expressions, including his lack of affect and concentrated stare, are already being assigned sinister meaning by observers.
Horrible. Horrible. They cryptically covered the truth. They buried it in lies. So many lies. And that's how the media got away with that narrative. See, if the media pushes a suspect before evidence is shown, you gotta know something's wrong. If the media repeats the same phrases over and over and over again, they gotta be feeding us something wrong. If the media stops asking tough questions, how many times have we seen someone interview someone and they're not even asking the right questions? They weren't even asking. If the media ignores inconsistencies, like we've seen many of them do, it's narrative media. And if the media only uses official sources, you're not getting transparency. That is media managed. See, they rely on public belief, not public facts. They don't. They don't. That news clip exonerated Brian and everyone ignored it. You are correct. Again, they rely on public belief, not with public facts. You notice what evidence they never talk about? This was a huge sign in a Cryptic case. Public doesn't get full details on phone data. I mean, what other things that they didn't tell the public? Surveillance gaps, roommate gaps in phone communications, vehicle tracking, blood patterns. Never got to see any of that. Entrance and exit, how they entered and exited. Shoes missing, shoe prints, latent shoe prints. That's the evidence they hardly ever talk because they don't give you a conclusion. Rough timelines. And there is, you're right, Blinky, there is no justice without transparency. There isn't. Totally. Yes, and this case showed how comfortable our country is with discrimination, especially the front of autism. You know, the one thing that the administration is trying to help because they know it's horrible. They know it's just terrible in our country right now? The 8-hour call, they never talk about that. No, they don't emphasize, oh my God, the roommates took 8 hours to call. That's a popular one, the delayed call. Jinx. Yeah. When you see large silence zones, the case is totally more cryptic than presented. We have to try to figure it out on our own. Did anyone see what Mad Greek posted today? Yes. 3 years ago, this is what Mad Greek posted about 5 hours ago. 3 years ago today, panic set in, and we all hoped you'd both answer my frantic calls. You didn't. And so I got word you wouldn't ever again. Although someone is behind bars, I don't feel like this has been justice, and I don't think it ever will. We miss you dearly and think about the four of you often until we meet again. Who wrote that? Who wrote that? The Mad Greek called? We hope you'd both answer my frantic calls. You didn't, and as soon as I got word, you would never again. Maybe they heard about it and then they tried to call these girls. Yeah, that was the Mad Greek restaurant where Xana and Kaylee worked. I'm sorry, Maddie and Kaylee. I'm sorry, I got it wrong again. Xana and Maddie worked at Mad Greek. I don't know why they closed down. Did they, or are they still open? Are they still open? Family owned and operated Greek restaurant. This is what I'm looking at. Greek restaurant. Open now. I don't think they shut down forever. It says it's open now. There's the hours. Looks like they are posting stuff about all kinds of stuff. Update Sunday till noon. Everything must go. Flash sale this weekend only at the Mad Greek. Oh, they sold everything. Inventory, furniture. That was in January of this year. I don't know why they closed down. Yeah, I don't know. Turnkey. They addressed it in September of 2024 that they were going to close. They look like they were selling it. Maybe even goes further back. No, I don't know. That's interesting. Have no idea. I mean, but that's what we look at in a cryptic case. You got to go down every twist and turn because you have to compare official documents to official statements. And we've seen nothing match, nothing line up. Statements at pressers, the narrative. I mean, Chief Fry gave a very interesting interview, finally. And here's why I think that was. When he was at the University of Idaho, they had a meeting. They had to come up with a game plan, in my humble opinion. And something didn't sound right. Just didn't sound right. And I always wondered why. Why? I mean, he said the house was full of friends. Most of the internet is scrubbing all these interviews. It's crazy. It's hard to find an original interview. It's very difficult to find an original interview with these guys because the story wasn't spot on. They weren't telling us the whole story. Because do you remember when Maybot said the restaurant announced temporary closure in 2024? Remember when Maybot said that the weapon was a butcher knife? The mayor said, oh, it was a crime of passion or maybe even a robbery. Yeah. All these different stories they were giving us. Why? So I just got a message that said the Mad Greek in Moscow, Idaho, temporarily closed down due to combination of factors including rising overhead costs, increased food prices, and the decision to reevaluate the business model after the original founder stepped back. The restaurant announced a temporary closure in August of 2024, acknowledging financial difficulties and thanking the community for its support over the 7 years, while continuing to operate for a short time to sell remaining inventory. And that is why. Thank you. Shout out to Amanda B for that info. She is one of the best mods I have ever had on social media. Gets in the trenches, follows up, finds really good stuff. Thank you, Amanda B. Appreciate you. And I thought I was good. This girl's the bomb, man. So, you know, being cryptic about a case, I mean, the statements and the pressers, the narrative, the police reports equal facts, supplemented documents equals contradiction, lab reports, what really exists, affidavit is a theory. It's not proof at this point. I mean, we all kind of know how some people feel about that affidavit. The PCA, bunch of tap dancing and lies. Someone said, take this with a grain of salt. The Mad Greek closed down because the owner got very depressed and it couldn't reopen after the girls died. That's hard. That's really hard. Did the original owner open a restaurant in New Hampshire? I think the manager did. 2022 had family of the U of I per an Argonaut article. I don't know. I'm not sure, but the restaurant sounds familiar to me. I made a video in honor of the IDAHO4. I made a song. I am not singing this song, but I did make a video. And does the story even make sense without the defendant? This is the strongest test to this cryptic story. If you remove Brian Kohberger from this story, the story falls apart. That means the case depends on narrative, not evidence. In the IDAHO4, if you remove Brian Kohberger, the entire timeline collapses. That's a major cryptic case indicator. That is what you need to look for. If you take out the individual that they have targeted and it doesn't make sense and the timeline collapses, that is what happened. And that is what we did in the crime community. We challenged the timeline. And I did it by challenging the 7-minute factor that I put out there. Yes. The 7 minutes.
It's hard for me to do this.
Is the one that I challenged. If you didn't see it on TikTok, you missed it. And I know that we cross community here. But that 7-minute window that I shared, people didn't realize that was a serious 7-minute window. No one could commit this 4 murders in 7 minutes. They said 10. I looked at all of the text, put all the documents together, showed you a list of everything, showed you the timeline, and I said 7 minutes. 7 minutes, folks, was the timeline that the state gave us. And it didn't jive. It didn't pass the smell test. And in my humble opinion, they were trying to not put out the information out there early on. People would catch on too fast. They delivered little tiny bits of information at little tiny bits of time. Why? Your guess is as good as mine. And in my humble opinion, it was all about the timeline. all about hiding the timeline. Boy, they tried to do a really good job of hiding that timeline from us. The more and more they released, the more and more people caught on. I mean, seriously. In February, March, April, we got the DNA. By then, they released the timeline on documents. And boy, I rushed to make that video. I rushed so fast. Let's watch it.
And Kohberger. And this is the timeline per the documents that I created weeks ago when those documents came out. This timeline is what they are going by, which doesn't make sense because we'll show you why. First of all, the first key time is wrong glasses, hold on. So according to this timeline, at 4 a.m., DoorDash delivery was made to the residence. That was the 1122, indicating at least one victim, Xana Kernodle, was awake at that time. But, however, in the other document they released prior to that, it said that everyone was home by 2 a.m. except for the fifth roommate, Xana, and her boyfriend, Ethan. Okay, keep that in mind. At 4:04, the surveillance footage captures Elantra, believed to be driven by suspect Brian Kohberger, entering the vicinity of the victim's home. Of course, we didn't get to see that footage on Dateline, but that's okay. Hold that thought. Then at 4:12, it was said that Xana Kernodle was reportedly active on her phone, suggesting that she was alive at this time. That's 4:12. So keep in mind, for approximately 13 minutes, this white Hyundai Elantra was looking for a parking spot. Okay, hold that thought. We'll get back to that one. Then at 4:17, the audio that we know that came from 111 to King Road, the audio from nearby surveillance picked up a loud thud and a dog barking, which investigators believe coincided with the attacks. So mind you, from 13 minutes of trying to find a parking spot to approximately 4 minutes, well, you've got about 5 minutes. I'll give them 5 minutes. And then 6, 7, 8 minutes, all this was done because the same white Hyundai Elantra was seen speeding away from the area, indicating the suspect's departure. So all that in a matter of 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. Is that correct? I think I'm checking the timeline across the documents, and that's 8 minutes. Okay, but if you look over here and you see all the text that I put off to the left side with these time frames, the first earliest time frame that they share with us is approximately Madison Mogan making a call to BF. Now, why would Maddie call BF? I mean, they're in the same house. They were just sitting on the bed talking per Dylan's statement. If y'all haven't read that, it's in there too. And then you see that DM creates a new contact an hour later, approximately an hour later. So for a whole hour, what happened between that time frame? Because then it picks up that Bethany actually contacted DM. Bethany initiated contact. What? Madison tried to call BF. BF initiated contact with DM. And then look at what she says. I saw Xana in all black at 4:23. How could she see how could BF see Xana in all black at 4:23? Where did BF see Xana wearing black? And then at 4:22, DM to BF, I'm freaking out right now. This timeline doesn't add up because I'm going to show you another one. Right at the bottom was from the documents that.
So we know it was all cryptic. We know the timeline doesn't add up. We know the case fell apart because when you look at the cryptic code of cases like this, like I mentioned, the Delphi, a lot of you are awake. You're awake and watching the same story over and over again. And why hasn't this case been solved? Why? We just think they're going to throw somebody in prison and throw away the key and he's the guilty one and that's all we have to say. Think about it. This isn't just justice for the families. It's for the community. It's for truth. It's for us, we the people. If we allow them to continue to throw story after story like this at us, it's going to create permanent confusion. And that is going to make us distrust more in what the authorities tell us. Because after all, they are in charge of us. I mean, a rush to a narrative isn't evidence. Before the public learned anything, the story was already decided. The white Elantra, BK-driven narrative, DNA match story pushed fast, timeline set before the evidence was processed. Early media shaped all the leaks before they were even facts released. Every single story was done on purpose, shared on purpose, with a purpose to confuse. Every single video, unauthorized, unreleased, unofficial. Every single audio, unauthorized, unofficial. Every single audio that you have watched that has not been officially released was the cryptic info. They want to throw you off. They want to make it look planted or staged or unnaturally. That's what it was. The sheath never made sense either. It was clean, perfectly placed, without a single DNA touch profile, on top of the comforter in a weird pose placement. Was it planted, staged, unnatural? Probably. And the DNA being on the button snap, not on the outside snap or on the sheath itself, that's even stranger. Absolutely strange. Absolutely odd. I mean, where are the photos? What are the diagrams of all the missing and withheld evidence descriptions? I'm sure there's thousands of things they haven't released to us. Where's the full evidence list? Where's the full ISP supplements with missing pages? It's wild. In a quadruple homicide, you would have tons of more information. Tons. All this does is create a lot of public distrust, a lot of space for errors, space for more wrongful convictions, space for the real killers to escape scrutiny, space for DNA inconsistencies that can be explained away. This isn't about internet sleuthing, folks. This is about justice requiring transparency for the communities, the family, and for truth. These are all questions that haven't been answered. I mean, I wish I could make a more practical guide on how to be aware of cryptic cases, but I think I just gave you some massive, major reasons to look. They're not just mysterious. They're cases with missing pieces, sealed facts, delayed updates, conflicting statements, evidence doesn't fully line up. It just means to be aware and know what you're looking for. Y'all are smart. You know how to spot them. I mean, give me in your own words, what is a cryptic story? What is a cryptic story? It's secretive, unclear, containing clues, no straight answers, confusing or deliberately being vague, requiring interpretation, missing pieces, contradiction, hidden facts, truth isn't obvious. It's sad we live in a world that they give us a case like this. Can't sleep for years on end. A glove, a bloody sheath, a bloody footprint, piece of clothing, camera angles. Not clear or ethical, absolutely. You can see activity on the Linda Lane near the time counters, lots of happening, if that's even the true time. Manipulated videos, audio, not even the story sales and one created and manipulated from mainstream media. Nothing. The prosecutor's going along with the story. Yeah, redactions are cryptic in my humble opinion. They are, because they don't point to anyone. There is no conclusive evidence. Yes, prosecutorial misconduct. You know, and every single one of these parents are sus. Every single one of them are suspect. Their backgrounds, I mean, I really can't say anything about the Chapins. Maddie Mogan's dad, sus. Stepmom, sus. Kaylee's dad, very sus. You know, he's got some issues in his background. Xana's mom, sus. I mean, these parents have some, in my humble opinion, something to do with this. Dylan even said the other day in her interview, when my dad came to the house, Maddie was a little standoffish because she didn't know who her dad was. And I wonder if Kaylee, that was Parents Weekend, I wonder if Kaylee started digging into who these parents were and why it might become conflictual in the house. Because Maddie did. I mean, Kaylee posted on that video. Maddie posted the one about Dylan being sus. Was there something more to that video that... Because that was way before Parents Weekend. That was on Halloween at the party. I just wonder, there has to be more to this. More to it they don't want us to know. Because all the narratives don't fit the evidence, folks. Timestamps, surveillance footage, witnesses' accounts, phone data, physical evidence. You have a cryptic case because truth shouldn't need to be forced. Ever. Should have just told us the truth from the start. What do you think? Avoiding the question, what are they hiding? You know, they commented, no comment to the same question. No comment. Who called 911? No comment. Somebody else used their phone. What's the timeline? What's the real timeline? Is there a killer that's going to attack again? What about this DNA? What about that? Why is this person redacted? Avoiding a question is a form of communication. They're hiding something. Dylan said she was mad that night. What was she mad about? What was Dylan mad about that night? Because her costume didn't come out as planned. Yeah, her costume had broken or something like that, or she wasn't happy with it. And yes, Holly Berry, thank you. Why has Brian Kohberger not spoken out? He isn't trying to get out. He's not trying to speak out. He's not trying to do anything to save face, save his name, nothing, which is highly cryptic. I mean, was it part of the plea deal? Was there something more? I mean, you know, Bethany did say about the knife. She bought those knives at IKEA. There were five knives piece set. They were gray. And that Hunter went to go grab the knife. I mean, listen to Bethany's interview again. But then again, you know, police checked out Hunter as he stood there. He was all good to go. Nothing odd, nothing strange. I don't think the frats were part of this. Maybe they were all fighting or had some issues with guys, and anything's possible, guys. Anything's possible. But I don't think that they're to blame for this. In my humble opinion, I don't think they were to blame for this. I don't think the frats I really don't think so. The evidence really doesn't point to the frats either. Maybe some of the frats that hid and ran away. I mean, we can go down that rabbit hole. There are some frats that disappeared, guys. There are some frats that just disappeared. And who do you think those frats disappeared? Who do you think those frats were? I mean, if we're going to talk about the frats, we might as well just talk about the frats. I mean, we're just sitting here having a conversation, folks. We're just speculating. The only two frats that I know that moved out of state is Adam Lauda. He went to Florida. And David Loach. He went to Georgia. Those are the only two that I know of. If there's any other key players here, I don't think they moved out of state. They moved out of the area. But those are the only two that I've ever seen move out of state. I don't think anybody would be really involved in having their own child injured. I don't think so. I would only hope not. I mean, that would be pretty sad. But the only two people I can think about that moved away was David Loach and Adam Lauda. Those are the only two from the friend group that I have seen with Maddie, Bethany, Dylan. That's their friend group. Their friends. I mean, who else comes to mind when you think of the friend group? And here's this one. He moved to Georgia, Woodstock, Georgia. And that's just a recent picture of him, maybe a couple weeks ago. And there's Adam Lauda. He moved to Florida, Sarasota, Florida, and is a commercial pilot. And he does his sports nutrition, athletics, teamwork. Those are the only two that bring me to mind. Two Davids. David Barry's working in Boise or somewhere. He got fired not too long ago for the statements made in Charlie Cook. So, when you look at Cryptic, I mean, I'll go through these real quick. And Ethan was messing around with her. Ethan was messing around with who? Dylan? I don't know. Very strange. Brian isn't getting out. Yep, that means something. In my humble opinion, DM and BF were definitely there. If they were there, they weren't in Bethany's room because that place looked ran freaking sacked. Yeah, hit the thumbs up, guys. Thanks for the reminder. Appreciate it, Teresa. Welcome in. And I don't know why the redacted the part when she said Ethan gave her his clothes to change. Yeah, why did they do that? They did redact that. Because his jacket was in the little cubby hole at home and the backpack was there. So parents' comments are definitely cryptic. Parents are. To me, it says either a Fed or WITSEC. Holly Berry, I agree. I can't fully decide either myself. That's true. I always thought Fed since February of 2023. Now I don't know. One or the other. Or both. I mean, they both. It could be WITSEC and Fed. Or some type of special agency. I think there was frat BS, but I think they may be used as a distraction. I agree, Kat. I mean, we went down every single rabbit hole. It led us into Boise, and then it stopped. And it stopped the day they did the DNA testing. SG supposedly listed the Bitcoin Foundation on his LinkedIn. Many of its leaders got into trouble. Well, you know what? He took it off because I think I have the original picture. Definitely sus is right after Parents' Weekend. In my humble opinion, they both were there. To David Loach. Kelly Quinn was there. Involved too. Phoenix, do you think the Linda Lane video is a distraction? Yes, I do. I do. On the audio, names Quinn and Logan are heard. They were all there, along with Barry. Someone has released that audio. It wasn't officially released. Somebody has. Is the audio real? I don't know. What about BD? David? Same frat as AA. Oh, yeah, that's true. I want to know who the hell was driving the Chapin SUV. We don't even know if that was actually there. I think, in my humble opinion, and this is just me, in my humble opinion, that Linda Lane footage and the Statesman, I'll go to the Statesman footage first. I'll show you what I think. The Statesman footage that was shared of the IDAHO4, let me grab it. All right. In my humble opinion, let me put this up on the screen real quick. And I'm going to show you why I believe this. Here we go. So y'all are saying that some SUV came in at 428. I've seen people talk about this. And I have said over and over again, that is not an SUV. I have said over and over again, it is the truck. Shoot, 428 isn't on this one. Hold on a minute. Who else has that 1112? Let me see. 428. Where's 428? Who has that? Maybe Outcast had it. Hold on, let me see if I can get it. No. Who had the extended version? Somebody did. Hold on. White truck. Thoughts as well. 428. Let me see if I can find this. Okay, somebody has the extended version at 428. Let me grab it. I know. Hold on. $428. Here we go. I just want the sound. I don't want the video. All right. I'm going to throw it up here. Idaho Archive. I think that 428, that is a truck. I don't think it's an SUV. I think it's the black truck that Dylan mentions. That's what I think. The truck is very distinctive. I don't think it's an SUV at all. Let me go ahead and share this with you. Okay, here we go. And Bertie and I looked at a couple of things a while back, and it kind of sounded like the same truck that we had heard before in the Linda Lane parking. I mean, it could have been. Who knows? At this point, who knows? Listen, the truck. I think it's the Ford Explorer SUV. It sounds similar to what police use. It sounds just like my best friend had a custom exhaust. Yeah, and I know people have been selling that narrative. But remember, when Dylan says to the police, here, let's listen to it again. Shout out to Plunder. Listen.
Of this was real, but seeing that guy again, like, it was just like cloudy. Like, what if he wasn't even there? But like,
Seeing that guy again.
After everything that's happened, like I think he was there, but it's like how much do I actually know is real? How much do I think is like made up in my mind?
Do you think you can remember enough of him to give a composite for a composite artist?
No.
Not enough.
No, I don't remember what his eyes look like. I don't remember what his nose looked like. I just remember eyebrows. I don't know exactly what his eyebrows look like at all, really. I just remember thinking like eyebrows. So like I couldn't even like.
Earlier you said because they were bushy.
Yeah, bushy, but that's all. Like I don't remember the shape. I don't remember like the color. I just remember like bushy eyebrows. That's the only thing I can remember.
And when you saw him outside your door, was he moving? Was there movement going on?
I've been trying to think through this, and I've been trying to think like what do I remember from that? And I just like I don't remember if he was just like standing there or if he was walking. But what I think was going on was that he was like slowly walking like across from the living room to the kitchen out the sliding door. That's what I think.
Now she says from the living room, guys, from the living room to the kitchen to the sliding door.
I think I remember.
So I haven't been to the house. Is there a drop from the sliding door, or can you walk out onto the street without having?
So pretty much you go out to the sliding door. There's just like this gray cement patio thing. Then let's just say your back is at the outside of the door and you're looking outside. To the right, you have to go. Like there's like some rocks and some bushes you have to walk down. Then to your left, there's just like this hill, like these bushes, and then like kind of to the back side, you can walk past my window. And there's like this hill of like bushes and stuff, and then up there's like houses. So I mean, it would be kind of hard to like run up it or run down it because there's all those like rocks and stuff.
Especially in the middle of the night.
Yeah, so I'm kind of confused. Like, if there wasn't there, why that way? Like that doesn't seem like the smartest and fastest way. But I mean,
which direction is the front door from your bedroom?
The front door, you have to go, again, out to the living room and downstairs. When you hit the bottom of the stairs, directly to your right is the door. So it's like kind of a little bit of a walk.
So it's a typical tri-level?
Yeah, typical, pretty much.
Can you think of anything else right now?
No, I'm trying to. Oh, this was something else that I remember. Cars do come by a lot, but I remember looking out the window. I just remember. Well, I think it was a black truck. I don't know for sure, but like that is normal for people's cars to go by. But I don't know if that could be something. It was just like car driving past our driveway.
What time was that at?
That was right when I went down to see. So I don't know exactly when that was.
Was it moving? It was in movement.
I was moving. I wasn't stopped at all. It was moving, and like people drive by our driveway to go like around like this side housing neighborhood a little bit. Like we hear cars go by all the time. Like that's not weird, but
when you were making your way to the room,
that's not when I heard.
Oh,
It was when I got into the room. I don't know why I looked out the window, but I looked when I just saw a car like driving by, and I believe it was what I guess I shouldn't say I believe because I don't know for sure, but I think it was a black truck. But I don't know for sure. It could have been. It was just dark, and I thought it was a black truck.
But there was a vehicle there.
Yeah, but it was like it wasn't stopped. It was moving, and like. From my window, again, my window is like, if like, let's say this is the front of my room, this is my back room, this is my window right here. There's like a neighborhood, I guess you know, there's that neighborhood up there. I can hear cars go by right there all the time. Like that's normal. It doesn't weird me out. And I like, from what I think the car was just going up to that neighborhood. But again, I don't know. But I thought I'd just let you know, just in case it
could have been a suspect.
Yeah, like I don't know. It could have been, but who knows?
And you said you sure it was a truck?
I don't know. I think it was a black truck from what I'm thinking, but again, I don't know for sure.
Were the headlights on?
I couldn't even remember. I can't remember that at all.
What drew your attention to it?
I think I just wanted to look at the window for some reason. I don't know why, but I remember seeing the red lights on the back of the truck.
Brake lights?
Yeah, I don't really know why. I remember seeing that. It was like, I don't remember if there were headlights or not. I just don't know about that. But I just remember seeing the red lights, kind of.
You've been through a lot. In time, you'll remember more. From my experience working with victims, you'll remember more. So anything, even if you don't think it's significant, we would still want to know.
Yeah.
What are your plans? What are your plans?
I'm going to back up just a minute or two here. I want to listen to what she said.
Outside of the door, and you're looking outside. To the right, you have to go, like there's like some rocks and some bushes you have to walk down. Then to your left, there's just like this hill, like these bushes, and then like kind of to the back side, you can walk past my window, and there's like this hill of like.
You can walk past my window. Isn't her window like on the main ground, second floor? You can walk past my window.
Bushes and stuff, and then up there's like houses. So I mean, it would be kind of hard to like run up it or run down it because there's all those like rocks and stuff.
Especially in the middle of the night.
Yeah, so I'm kind of confused. Like, if there wasn't there, why that way? Like, that doesn't seem like the smartest and fastest way. But I mean,
which direction is the front door from your bedroom?
The front door, you have to go again out to the living room and downstairs. When you hit the bottom of the stairs, directly to your right is the door. So it's like kind of a little bit of a walk.
So it's a typical tri-level.
Yeah, typical, pretty much.
So why is she asking if Dylan can see the front of the house, and she's explaining how she gets down to the front door?
Can you think of anything else right now?
No, I'm trying to. Oh, this was something else that I remember. Cars do come by a lot, but I remember looking out the window. I just remember. Well, I think it was a black truck. I don't know for sure, but like that is normal for people's cars to go by. But I don't know if that could be something. It was just a car driving past our driveway.
What time was that at?
That was right when I went down to see. So I don't know exactly when that was.
Was it moving? It was in movement?
I was moving. I wasn't stopped at all. It was moving. And like people drive by our driveway to go like around like this side housing neighborhood a little bit. Like we hear cars go by all the time. Like that's not weird, but
when you were making your way to the room,
that's not when I heard.
Oh.
It was when I got into the room. I don't know why I looked out the window, but I looked when I saw a car like driving by, and I believe it was I guess I shouldn't say I believe because I don't know for sure, but I think it was a black truck. But I don't know for sure. It could have been. It was just dark, and I thought it was a black truck.
But there was a vehicle there.
Yeah, but it was like it wasn't stopped. It was moving, and like from my window, again, my window is like if like let's say this is the front of my room, this is my back room, this is my window right here. There's like a neighbor. I guess you know there's like that neighborhood up there. I can hear cars go by right there all the time. Like that's normal. It doesn't weird me out. And I like from what I think the car was just going up to that neighborhood. But again, I don't know. But I thought I'd just let you know, just in case it
could have been a suspect.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Could have been, but who knows?
And you said you sure it was a truck?
I don't know. I think it was a black truck from what I'm thinking, but again, I don't know for sure.
Were the headlights on?
I couldn't even remember. I can't remember that at all.
What drew your attention to it?
I think I just wanted to look at the window for some reason. I don't know why, but I remember seeing the red lights on the back of the truck.
Brake lights?
Yeah, I don't really know why. I remember seeing that. It was like, I don't remember if there were headlights or not. I just don't know about that. But I just remember seeing the red lights, kind of.
You've been through a lot.
Okay, so she said earlier that she remembered seeing a truck. And she was going down, and then she changed her direction of what she was about to say. Did anybody... Let me put the closed captions on. Hold on a minute. So it had to have been... I wonder if she went downstairs. Is that when she maybe left? Did Bethany leave and then she left? Is that even possible that they both left at separate times? Is that even possible? She say me and Brett go down. Where do you remember when? She said Brett and me go down. The black truck. Doesn't Quinn have a black truck? A lot of people drive black trucks. A lot of people. You know what I'm going to do? Hold on one second, guys. I just had thought of something. Let me look at this witness list. Let me look at the defense witness list. Hold on. I want to see who else was on this list. Witness list, defendants. That's phase 2. It's phase 2. Phase 1, defendants. Oh, that's a motion to seal. Did they not unseal it? Defendants lay order sealing. We don't even have that list yet. We have phase 2 mitigation. We don't have one. Shoot. I want to see who they had for the defense on their witness list, because they threw out the identification of bushy eyebrows. They weren't allowed to ask that. Where is the defense witness list? Not disclosed. It's not unsealed. I want to see who was on that witness list. I want to see if Dylan's dad is on that witness list. I am very curious, in my humble opinion, who was on the defense witness list, guys. That would tell us a lot. Play from when she sees the truck. She says that when me and Brett go down. Me and Brett.
I don't know if you know this yet, but my friend who was best friend with Xana, we went to like a balloon ceremony for all of them, and I was talking about. She said, yeah, one time like he just like, I guess I can both tell you that he like kneed one of their best friends in the stomach and like just pretty much beat her up for some reason, which I don't know why you would beat up a girl. Doesn't make sense. But he was kicked out of for in-ear issues. He didn't have any connection to except for which Kaylee was talking, which is just a weird coincidence. Like it could have just been coincidence. We don't know. I mean, it's just like that's the only thing we can think of, and I don't know. It's just weird.
Who did he punch in the stomach?
I don't know her last name, but I know her really well.
Did she call the police on that or make a report?
No, I mean, I don't think she did.
What was the issue with her?
Oh, I don't know. I have no clue. I mean, you could probably try and talk to her about that. She would probably know. She knows more than I do. I mean, all like this part of it is all hearsay. Like it's not what I know. It's what other people know that I've told.
That's important.
Yeah.
What is name?
I have to look at her last name,
please.
I believe.
What?
Let me look at her Instagram real quick.
Please.
Sorry. Well, hold on. I don't. I currently don't have my insurance. I had to deactivate it.
No, that's okay. We can figure it out. We have access to the school records as well.
Yeah,
She's
that
doing
would
there as well.
Well, she used to be, but now she's at maybe, I think, yeah.
Was that a recent event?
Yeah, she decided to switch from, like last year she finished out UBI and then switched to CWI, like as of this semester, I believe.
So who told you the story about punching in the stomach?
It was, and then I talked to her about that earlier today, and she explained that a little bit more.
I think I went too far back. Hold on. Let me see. This is where she says about the truck.
Is there anything you want to ask of us?
I don't know if you can tell me, but is there any people of interest, anything?
Well, some of the ones that he's been provided for, we're doing the follow-up. Those are the first ones we're doing follow-up.
So there are like people of interest?
Yes, but not suspects. So
people of interest.
What's important is we're like you. We don't want to ruin somebody's reputation.
That makes sense.
They have no involvement whatsoever.
That's what my mom was telling me. Is like they're not going to like in the press conference. They can't say anything if there are people of interest because that would just like let's say it isn't that would ruin his whole entire life, you know. So I understand that part. Like you can't say something.
You're important though. I mean, we're not trying to put extra pressure on you, but you're important because maybe you did see, you're the only eyewitness that put somebody in that house. That's why it's important if you can sort through it with, who's your, may I ask?
Oh, what's her name?
I mean, they're qualified. They did, I don't make light of this because I work with victims all the time with trauma, right? They didn't just start their practice yesterday. This is somebody established.
It's in I can't remember her name. Her name.
And she's been doing it a while.
Yeah, she's been doing it for a while.
So can you keep working with?
Yeah, I'm going to. I met with her yesterday. Really liked her. She's really calming, and I feel good with her.
And the good thing is, I've worked with victims for 42 years. The further away you get from it, you're going to start piecing things together. The trauma is just too raw and too real right now.
Yeah.
And you've lost your friends.
Yeah.
That's compounding. These are people you were connected to.
Yeah.
And you cared about. In time, things will start to fall into place. And for your own peace of mind, I want that to happen for you. I'm not selfish. Yes, it is somewhat about the case, but it's also important that at some point in your life, you get to move on beyond this trauma.
Yeah. So let's say somehow I piece something together. Should I call you and be like, hey, I remember something?
Call me. I have a business.
But what if it's something I don't? But all this is I don't know for sure. Even if I don't know for sure, but I think this is piecing my memory. Should I still?
Yes.
Okay.
Because what if it is real?
Yeah.
And we don't know about it.
I mean, that's the main thing is I wish I could understand if anything of this was real. But seeing that guy again, it was just cloudy. What if he wasn't even there? But after everything that's happened, I think he was there. But it's how much do I actually know is real? How much do I think is made up in my mind?
Do you think you can remember enough of him to give a composite for a composite artist?
No.
Not enough.
Definitely not.
No, I don't remember what his eyes look like. I don't remember what his nose looked like. I just remember eyebrows. I don't know exactly what his eyebrows look like at all. Really, I just remember thinking eyebrows.
I made all this up. Yeah, in my humble opinion.
So I couldn't even
Earlier you said because they were bushy.
Yeah, bushy, but that's all. I don't remember the shape. I don't remember the color. I just remember bushy eyebrows. It's the only thing I can remember.
And when you saw him outside your door, was he moving? Was there movement going on?
I've been trying to think through this, and I've been trying to think what do I remember from that? And I just I don't remember if he was just standing there or if he was walking. But what I think was going on was that he was slowly walking across from the living room to the kitchen out the sliding door.
How could she see him from her door in the living room? It's around the corner. I mean, literally, you have to open the door because her door opens. If you're standing from inside, it opens left to right. So she'd have to have her door all the way open to even see in the living room to the kitchen if he's walking.
Cloudy, what if he wasn't even there? But after everything that's happened, I think he was there. But it's how much do I actually know is real? How much do I think is made up in my mind?
Do you think you can remember enough of him to give a composite for a composite artist?
No.
Not enough.
No, I don't remember what his eyes look like. I don't remember what his nose look like. I just remember eyebrows. I don't know exactly what his eyebrows look like at all. Really, I just remember thinking eyebrows. So I couldn't even
Earlier you said because they were bushy.
Yeah, bushy, but that's all. I don't remember the shape. I don't remember the color. I just remember bushy eyebrows. It's the only thing I can remember.
And when you saw him outside your door, was he moving? Was there movement going on?
I've been trying to think through this, and I've been trying to think what do I remember from that? And I just I don't remember if he was just standing there or if he was walking. But what I think was going on was that he was slowly walking across from the living room to the kitchen out the sliding door.
Across the living room to the kitchen, out the sliding door. Where was she at exactly, folks? I didn't mean to go down this rabbit hole. I mean, shoot. What in the world is going on? Now she's seen him across the living room. She sees him walk across the living room to the kitchen and out the sliding door. If that's what she really saw.
That's what I think I remember.
So I haven't been to the house. Is there a drop from the sliding door, or can you walk out onto the street without having?
So pretty much you go out to the sliding door.
Yes, across and walked immaculately, transparently right through the ping pong table.
there's just like this gray cement patio thing. Then let's just say your back is at the outside of the door and you're looking outside. To the right, you have to go, like, there's like some rocks and some bushes you have to walk down. Then to your left, there's just like this hill, like these bushes, and then like kind of to the backside, you can walk past my window, and there's like this hill of like bushes and stuff, and then up there's like houses. So I mean, it would be kind of hard to like run up it or run down it because there's all those like rocks and stuff.
Especially in the middle of the night.
Yeah, so I'm kind of confused. Like, if there wasn't there, why that way? Like, that doesn't seem like the smartest and fastest way. But I mean,
which direction is the front door from your bedroom?
The front door, you have to go, again, out to the living room and downstairs. When you hit the bottom of the stairs, directly to your right is the door. So it's like kind of, yeah, typical, pretty much.
Can you think of anything else right now?
No, I'm trying to, oh, this was something else that I remember. Cars do come by a lot, but I remember looking out the window, I just remember, well, I think it was a black truck. I don't know for sure, but like that is normal for people's cars to go by, but I don't know if that could be something. It was just like car driving past our driveway.
What time was that at?
That was right when I went down to see. So I don't know exactly when that was.
Was it moving? It was in movement?
I was moving. I wasn't stopped at all. It was moving. And like people drive by our driveway to go like around like this side housing neighborhood a little bit. Like we hear cars go by all the time. Like that's not weird, but
when you were making your way to the room,
that's not when I heard.
Oh,
it was when I got into.
When I got.
I don't know why I looked out the window, but I looked at the window. I just saw a car like driving by, and I believe it was
when I got into the room. Is she talking about Bethany's room?
I guess I shouldn't say I believe because I don't know for sure, but I think it was a black truck. But I don't know for sure. It could have been, it was just dark and I thought it was a black truck.
But there was a vehicle there?
Yeah, but it was like, it wasn't stopped, it was moving. And like, from my window, again, my window is like, if like, let's say this is the front of my room, this is my back room, this is my window right here. There's like a neighbor, I guess you know, there's like that neighborhood up there. I can hear cars go by right there all the time. Like that's normal, it doesn't weird me out. And I like, from what I think the car was just going up to that neighborhood. But again, I don't know. But I thought I'd just let you know, just in case it
could have been a suspect.
Yeah, like I don't know. It could have been, but who knows?
And you said you sure it was a truck?
I don't know. I think it was a black truck.
Yeah, something's not right. This starts at 1:43. Let's.
The front door, you have to go again out to the living room and downstairs. When you hit the bottom of the stairs, directly to your right is the door. So it's like kind of a little bit of a walk.
So it's a typical tri-level.
Yeah, typical, pretty much.
Can you think of anything else right now?
No, I'm trying to. Oh, this was something else that I remember. Cars do come by a lot, but I remember looking out the window. I just remember. Well, I think it was a black truck. I don't know for sure, but like that is normal for people's cars to go by, but I don't know if that could be something. It was just like car driving past our driveway.
What time was that at?
That was right when I went down to see.
That was right when I went down to see. Did she say Bethany? Does she call her Beth? Because it sounds like to me she was about to say Beth. That's what it sounds like to me. When I got into the room. So she went to Bethany's room and then she saw the truck.
I don't know why I looked out the window, but I looked at the window, I just saw a car like driving by, and I believe it was I guess I shouldn't say I believe because I don't know for sure, but I think it was a black truck. But I don't know for sure. It could have been, it was just dark and I thought it was a black truck.
But there was a vehicle there?
Yeah, but it was like, it wasn't stopped, it was moving. And like, from my window, again, my window is like, if like, let's say this is the front of my room, this is my back room, this is my window right here. There's like a neighbor, I guess you know this.
I think is when she went down to Beth. Does she call her Bethany or does she call her Beth? Because I've heard her call Bethany Beth before. She went down to Bethany's room.
Out to the living room and downstairs. When you hit the bottom of the stairs, directly to your right is the door. So it's like kind of a little bit of a walk.
So it's a typical tri-level.
Yeah, typical, pretty much.
Can you think of anything else right now?
No, I'm trying to. Oh, this was something else that I remember. Cars do come by a lot, but I remember looking out the window. I just remember. Well, I think it was a black truck. I don't know for sure, but like that is normal for people's cars to go by. But I don't know if that could be something. It was just like car driving past our driveway.
What time was that at?
That was right when I went down to see. So I don't know exactly when that was.
Was it?
That was when I went down to see Bethany. I think they blurted out Bethany, but why would they blurt out Bethany? And she looked through the window.
It was in movement?
I was moving. I wasn't stopped at all. It was moving. And like people drive by our driveway to go like around like this side housing neighborhood a little bit. Like we hear cars go by all the time.
And this is what I mean by cryptic. Cryptic, cryptic, cryptic. So when you think about all these different things that we've been told, we see, that we hear, play it again, all the word salad. Okay, one more time and then we're going to cut it.
Like run up it or run down it because there's all those like rocks and stuff, pretty much.
Can you think of anything else right now?
No, I'm trying to. Oh, this was something else that I remember. Cars do come by a lot, but I remember looking out the window. I just remember. Well, I think it was a black truck. I don't know for sure, but like that is normal for people's cars to go by. But I don't know if that could be something. It was just like car driving past our driveway.
What time was that at?
That was right when I went down to see. So I don't know exactly when that was.
Was it moving? It was in movement?
I was moving. I wasn't stopped at all. It was moving. And like people drive by our driveway to go like around like this side.
Right there. Right there. I think it was when she went to go downstairs to Bethany. And she says she could look out the window and they drive by our driveway. She's talking about the driveway. So I think she's downstairs looking out in the front, in my humble opinion.
Housing neighborhood.
She was saying that she was talking about being in her bedroom, but she said, when did you see the black truck? She says, when I went downstairs to go see Bethany. That's what I think she says, blank. They redacted it. And then she says, people go by our driveway to go around like this side, the housing neighborhood. She specifically says our driveway. They have to pass the driveway.
A little bit, like we hear cars go by all the time. Like that's not weird, but
when you were making your way to the room.
That's
when you were making your way to Bethany's room.
That's not when I heard.
Oh.
That's not when I heard it.
It was when I got into the room.
It's when I got into Bethany's room.
I don't know why I looked out the window, but I looked when I saw a car like driving.
I looked out the window and I saw the car.
I believe it was what I guess.
I think she messed up.
I shouldn't say I believe because I don't know for sure, but I think it was a black truck. But I don't know for sure. It could have been. It was just darker and I thought it was a black truck.
But there was a vehicle there.
Yeah, but it was like, it wasn't stopped. It was moving.
And she makes it a point to keep saying it was moving, not stopped.
And like, from my window, again, my window is like, if like, let's say this is the front of my room, this is my back room, this is my window right here. There's like a neighbor, I guess you know, there's that neighborhood up there. I can hear cars go by right there all the time. Like that's normal. It doesn't weird me out. And I like, from what I think the car was just going up to that neighborhood. But again, I don't know. But I thought I'd just let you know, just in case it
could have been a suspect.
Yeah, like I don't know. It could have been, but
it could have been.
Who knows?
And you said you sure it was a truck?
I don't know. I think it was a black truck from what I'm thinking, but again, I don't know for sure.
Were the headlights on?
I couldn't even remember. I can't remember that at all.
What drew your attention to it?
I think I just wanted to look at the window for some reason. I don't know why, but I remember seeing the red lights on the back of the truck.
Like brake lights?
Yeah, I don't really know why. I remember seeing that. Was like,
which would fall into line with the timeline that I shared on my TikTok, if you go and look at the timeline or the court records of the timeline, 428, she's already down in Bethany's room, I believe. That would fit right into this perfect timeline. Hold on, let me grab it real quick. That would fit right into that. Interesting. Very interesting. So here is the prosecutor's timeline. So if that was 428, that would fit right into where she's already ran down. Let me see when she says, come to my room. Hold on. Let me see if I can.
She knows.
She exited the room and began running towards Bethany's bedroom. That's a transcript from the grand jury 1824-15. We won't see that until later. And we won't see that line up until 428, if that was the actual truck that she's seeing from Bethany's window, guys. Holy cow. She exited the room and began running towards Bethany's bedroom. When did she start running to Bethany's bedroom? Hold on a minute. Let me grab the text. 911 text. And call motion in limine. Let me grab this. Motion in limine says, that's the 911. That's the transcript. That's the transcript. Hold on. Let me get text. That would be the actual timeline when she sees the black truck. That would put, shoot, those exhibits are still sealed and redacted. 428. She will testify that she will testify at trial anyways. Hold on, let me read these. 428. Text messages and calls. Let me see if I have a different. Here it is. Okay, here's the extended version of it. So at 428, I'm screwed though. Run down here. DM calls Ethan. DM to BF. 424. I'm screwed. I don't care how you read it. It says screwed. It's better than being alone. DM made an outgoing call, then an outgoing Snapchat, then another 427, and then 428 calls Dana, calls Maddie, Kaylee. When did Dylan get to Bethany? When did she get to Bethany's room, folks? It never says. It never says. It says DM outgoing Snapchat at 427. 428 DM calls Kaylee. 428 DM calls Xana. Then Bethany. Then DM text Kaylee, please answer. When did Dylan get to Bethany's room? When? Does Bethany say it in her interview statement? Oh, interesting. Interesting. When does Bethany actually arrive in Dylan's room? Holy freaking moly. And that's what I'm trying to surmise. When the black truck comes, who was she really texting, if that's even... When did Dylan get to Bethany's room? When did Dylan get to Bethany's room is the big question, folks. It never says that she got to Bethany's room. It just says 424, come to my room. 424 DM the last time. When did, it never says what time did Dylan get to Bethany's room. It never says. So now we have possibly, oh my gosh, we possibly have Dylan not even staying in Bethany's room. She hears this truck, and now when did she get to Bethany's room? She says, I went down. Like down to Bethany's room. Maybe she was going to the front door. Stick with me, folks. There is never, in the grand jury testimony right down here, she tried calling Kaylee and Xana, but neither responded. So let's go to that court document right here. She tried calling Kaylee and Xana right here at 427, 428, but neither responded. DM exited a room and began running toward Bethany's bedroom. But Bethany's trying to call Madison, Kaylee. And it never says when Dylan gets to Bethany's room. Never. No, the documents don't say when she gets there. The documents. .428. After 428, Bethany and Dylan no longer are communicating via text. The only person, Bethany calls Madison, Bethany calls Madison, Bethany calls Kaylee, Bethany calls Kaylee. The last time that they text or talk is at 428 when this truck comes. I think it's a truck, in my humble opinion, allegedly. Then they never text again until Bethany calls Jenna. So did they meet up at 428? Did the truck come to pick them up? Was that the real timeline? What are your thoughts? Just a comment. We're just speculating here, folks. It's not set in stone, but we never got the answer when Bethany got to Dylan's room. I mean, when Dylan got to Bethany's room. More cryptic, yep. She says down here, which is strange. Down here. Down here. I mean, why is that strange? Why is it strange to say down here? 424. BF, down here. Run. Was somebody coming to pick Dylan up? I'm freaking out. Run. I mean, come on, folks. It's so cryptic. And what time was the black truck seen? I'm thinking it was 4:28. That's a missing piece to the puzzle. Dylan said there's mixing text because she was going back and forth between apps. And we know the black truck drives by whoever the truck is downstairs when we see the truck. She had to explain a black truck coming. She had to explain it. And it never stopped. It never stopped anywhere. So did the black truck come and pick them up? I've always thought D and B were staying somewhere else and keeping tabs on the other roommates. I've always felt that. Setup scheduled ahead of time. Me too. I'm thinking the black truck came to pick them up. Dylan had to explain away a black truck on the video cameras. They never say make and model, it's just a black truck. She deleted text, photos, etc., videos. If it was Bethany's room, DM would know where. What's the timestamp? I think they were all at a hotel. Well, could be Grammy T. Had to after she messed up. They are pissed at her for that comment in the driveway. Interesting. This is a gold find. I'm going to dig further into this. I'll let you know what I find. But you know what? In the IDAHO4 and all this cryptic mess that we've been giving, you know, something is very clear to me. Very clear. And I want to leave you with this one question. If you could ask one question in this case, what would it be? What would it be? Please explain your opinion, Isabel. We'd love to hear it. We are open to it. Bethany jumped out of the truck that morning when the cops were there. Was there? Oh, shoot. States Exhibit 3, black truck. Holy cow. Hold on a minute. Something just crossed my mind. States Exhibit 3. Hold on. Let me bring this document up. They documented every single truck on that street. Every single vehicle, every single truck in the state's exhibit. Let me grab it. Let me grab it. Let me see if there's a truck in here. But why would the truck be there? Where is the exhibit? Oh, let me see what I did with it. It should be an Excel spreadsheet. Hold on. Where is this exhibit list, guys? Exhibit list, here we go. Let's see if I can find a... They had taken pictures of every single vehicle. I don't think it would be on this list, but black Ford truck. Holy freaking moly, guys. You're not going to believe this one. You're not going to believe this. Look at this. Holy freaking moly. Look at this. They had an exhibit. Vehicles parked by 1122 King Road. They picked out a black Ford truck and a silver Ford SUV. Why would this be in the state's exhibit list? Why would this be? The black Ford truck, it says truck, and a silver Ford SUV. Washington plates. We're talking about a black truck Dylan saw. And they say vehicles parked at 1122 King Road. By. Why would they note these trucks parked there? I doubt if it's either of their trucks too, but why would they put it on the witness exhibit list? Whose are they? They give the freaking look right there. They didn't redact it at all. Let me do my handy dandy magic. Hold on, let me see who these cars belong to. This is crazy. I have to find public record first before I share. 1A147 JZ. I doubt if I'll be able to find this. Chevy, Ford, let me see. Moscow. It's got Ada County too. So it's somebody who lives in Boise. Who lived in Boise. Black Ford Boise truck. Who drives a black Ford Boise truck? Who is Isabel? Isabel must have blocked me. Caleb, if you can see Isabel, message me what's going on. I'm telling you, if you block me, you're going to get booted. My mods will tell me. A black truck, 1A is Boise. That's Ada County. 1A 147JZ. And Washington, a silver Ford SUV. They both do, yes. They both live in Boise. That is 1A County. I'm going to guess it's Quinn's. That's Ada County. Yes, it is. Okay, so there's another piece of the puzzle together. I was looking for the witness list. The defense witness list is sealed still. I was hoping that I would see somebody specific on the witness list, but here, a black Ford truck with 1A 147JZ, right here in black and white, this is all public info, has been shared in the state's exhibit list and with a Ford Silver Explorer SUV with Washington plates. Interesting. S169. Let me look at S169. I don't think they tested them. S169, state's exhibit. No, they didn't. This is all hogwash. That is the black truck I remember seeing in the state's exhibit list. So this black truck is the only black truck in here mentioned. Oddly enough, that's Dylan mentions a black truck, and there we go. The silver SUV, if WA, but lives in Boise. Ethan's frat bro that was going to be a defense witness. Was that Tim DeWolf? Oh, yes. You were absolutely right. He moved from Washington to Boise, and I shared that just a couple weeks ago. Yes, I believe you. You're blocked too by Isabel? Okay, I'll handle Isabel. I'll definitely handle her. Just send me a screenshot, Caleb, if you can see her, if she didn't block you. If anybody else sees this Isabel, do me a favor, take some screenshots and send them to my email. I'll make sure I take care of her. She won't be a problem. There was a photo of DM in a black Chuck. Well, we're all blocked. We don't see her. Okay, well, whoever it is, find out who they are. Yes, that black truck. I don't know if it's the same truck, but it does drive by the band field. Absolutely. Quinn sold his truck right after. Interesting. Is it the one that DM and CK were pictured in? I've got a picture of that. Woo woo, Phoenix, and these puzzle pieces are fitting fast. Yep, keep going. I can't see her either. She probably blocked everybody. Wow. You know what? Truth is out there. We just got to find it in these cryptic messages that they're giving us. But let me say this. I'm going to do some digging. I'm going to do some homework. Those are the 2 plates right there that were shared in the state's exhibit. And they were going to trial with this. And remember the key word that I used before in Judge Hippler's own notes. If you put them on the stand, maybe someone's going to crack and confess. But until then, Brian Kohberger is factually guilty and sitting in prison. So all these cryptic messages, it's translucent, is it? Yeah, I bet it is. Or OMP. Keep on keeping on. We're going to find out who you are. Definitely, I think it is Dylan, in my humble opinion. All the cryptic truth being buried deep. We're going to uncover it. We're going to find you out. You're going to the slammer. That's my promise. And you know what? You don't scare me one bit. I've had a fantastic role. Now, with that being said, we're here to honor these 4 that have passed. I made a special video. I made a special song. I'm going to share it with you. And then we are out for the night. I'll be back here tomorrow at, I will be back here at 11. And then later on tomorrow night in my stream, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. Give me some like and love. We're gonna figure this thing out. And I know somebody doesn't want us to. We're still gonna do it anyways, because that's who we are. Enjoy this video, you guys. This is in tribute of the IDAHO4. May they rest in peace. Beautiful 4 souls.
Under Idaho skies at dawn's first light, 4 hearts move forward with hope in sight. Whispers of dreams dancing on the breeze, loved and remembered beneath the pines. Hold them in your heart, let their memories shine. 4 shining lights in the morning sky. We lift our song and let it ride the pines. Forever close, they never say goodbye. Footprints in snow, footprints in time. Joyful echoes under summer pines. Faces in frames glowing in the light. Guide our steps as we chase new heights. For Holding in your heart, let their memories shine. 4 shining lights in the morning sky. We lift our song and let it ride upon. Forever close, they never say goodbye. They never say goodbye.
November 13th, 2022, these 4 university students were discovered stabbed in their home in Moscow, Idaho. Local police described the case as very complex, and it took more than 6 weeks for a suspect to be arrested. We pieced together information from a case affidavit released by authorities, verified publicly available evidence, and create a visual timeline outlining significant events in this case. It's around 9 p.m. local time on Saturday, November 12th in Moscow, Idaho. According to an affidavit released by authorities, Zana Kernodle and her boyfriend Ethan Chapin are seen hanging out at the Sigma Chi house. It's about a 5-minute walk from their off-campus house on King Road. Zana's roommates Kaylee Gonsalves and Madison Mogan are at the Corner Club. It's a historic sports bar in town. They stay at the bar for about 3 hours, according to an affidavit released by authorities. And around 1:30 a.m., Kaylee and Maddie leave the corner bar. The next available images we have of them are in this surveillance footage obtained by ABC News. They're heading towards a local food truck, which is about a 6-minute walk from the bar. Police say this man with them is not a suspect. This is the grub truck. They have been streaming live on Twitch since about 10 p.m. And around 1:41 a.m., we see all 3 of them walk into frame. Maddie and Kaylee order food.
Have a good night. Bye. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Thanks. I think I would like the carbonara.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
Absolutely.
How many more do you need? That's the second one? Awesome.
Don's mom. $10.
Cool. Thank you.
47. Thank you very much.
They wait around for about 10 minutes. Around 1:51 a.m., they grab food from the truck window and walk out of frame. Police confirm that at this point they get picked up by a car service. And about 6 minutes later, they arrive at home on King Road. According to an affidavit, Ethan and Zana are already in the house, along with 2 other roommates. According to the affidavit, Zana receives a DoorDash delivery. And a source tells ABC News that the delivery is contactless and the order is left at the front door. A surviving roommate would later tell authorities that around this time, 4 a.m., she wakes up to what sounds like Kaylee playing with her dog in the room on the 3rd floor. She also reports hearing someone say, "There's someone here." 4:12 a.m., according to phone records obtained by police, Zana is awake and using TikTok. The affidavit states that the same surviving roommate says she hears what sounds like crying coming from Zana's room. She opens her door a second time and says she hears a male voice say something to the effect of, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." At 4:17 a.m., this security camera on a neighbor's home picks up distorted audio of what sounds like voices or a whimper, followed by a loud thud. A dog can also be heard barking numerous times. Affidavit states their surviving roommate then opens her door a 3rd time. She sees a masked man walking past her towards the sliding glass door in the kitchen. In frozen shock, she locks her door. About 8 hours after the killings, a 911 call reports an unconscious person at the scene of the crime. Shortly after, Moscow police discover the bodies of 4 students.
The facts of the case that we know right now.
November 16th, police reveal the 4 victims were stabbed to death.
The 4 were stabbed with a knife, but no weapon has been located at this time.